welcome to my channel. So on the screen, you're seeing the piece of art that you are studying. You can start studying it right now to activate the visual cortex in your brain. The visual cortex is a very interesting part of the brain. It interprets what you see visually so that you understand what you're looking at. Now, this painting is a Circle of Life painting from my series of Circle of Life paintings, the abstract paintings that I've been doing for a few years. And just relax and enjoy it as I'm talking. Just let your mind go kind of blank. Just kind of hear what I'm saying, but let your mind go blank and let your eyes do the work. And you follow your eyes instead of the eyes following you. So anyway, the visual cortex is an interesting part of the brain, like I just said. It can help you remain lucid and sharp throughout your life and into old age. And that's a wonderful thing. It also can trigger dopamine in your brain, which relieves stress. And it is a stress reduction. It lowers the It lowers stress levels and promotes relaxation. It can also help relieve anxiety by activating parts of the brain that process emotion. So this visual cortex does a lot of things. And by us using the visual cortex, it's a wonderful exercise for your brain. The brain loves it. It's like doing a very calm, sweet workout for your brain. Some scientists think that when you study a piece of art that your brain almost automatically goes into alpha, and some think, well, maybe not. So I think it probably does, but that's just my opinion, and I'm not a scientist. So in a few minutes, we'll intentionally go into alpha because, as you guys know, if you've been watching the channel, that alpha is the middle brain wave, and it's the most relaxed, most creative brain wave, while still being cognizant, so you can do things when your brain is in alpha. Very cool. I was taught this by a college professor many years ago, and I've used it for creating art all throughout the years. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to activate the visual cortex, which your visual cortex is probably really well activated right now after looking at the screen and the painting. But I'm going to be quiet for a few seconds and let you really study the painting. And if you do this on your own, and I hope you will, I hope you do it. I do it at least once a day, but that's just me. You don't have to do it that often. But if you're doing it on your own, do it for 5 or 10 minutes with a piece of art, any art that you love or just enjoy, or you might see somewhere in public and you stop for a minute and just really enjoy it. They also say that doing this is a form of meditation. Activating your visual cortex is a form of meditation. So I'm going to be quiet for a few seconds, and then we'll go into alpha intentionally, which is 3 deep breaths and saying down, down, down. And then we'll do our own piece of art for the rest of the video. Okay, now we're going to go into alpha. We're going to take 3 deep breaths, in through your nose and out through your mouth, and say in a deep voice, down, down, down. Here we go. Down, down, down. Now we're in alpha, and now we'll go create. So, since we were studying a circle of life painting, I think that I'm going to be doing circles, or somewhat circles, or little squiggly kind of circles. I'm going to use the colors I used on the Circle of Life painting. Now, it's not going to be anywhere near what that painting was, because that painting took hours and hours and hours to do. But we're going to have some fun with this. And the reason we do this too is because this also lets you know what you can do in alpha, and this also stimulates the visual cortex in your brain to actually do art, which is really fun. I hope that you guys are doing some art as I'm doing this, or if you can't right now, don't worry about it, just watch me. We never know where these little paintings are going when I start them. And you don't have to use paint. You can use anything you want. You can use felt tip pens, colored pens of some sort, felt tip colored pens, and crayons or colored pencils, anything you want to use. And today I remembered to tape down the the paper. I'm proud of myself. This is a handmade paper. It has a little texture to it. You can get anything I'm using online. A lot of this is background paint. So this is just circle after circle after circle. Oops. That was a big surprise. A blob of paint jumped out that I'm doing. This is just for relaxing and being in alpha. And stimulating your visual cortex. Activating your spiritual cortex. The big reason that we're doing this is so that you guys understand it and can do some things that are fun and just relaxing. I'm just doing a series of circles. It's layering. And when I'm doing this and my brain is in alpha and all that, for our exercises, the process of these little visual exercises, I'm not really thinking or planning or getting back from it like I would if I were doing an important piece of art that is going to go in a gallery or is a commission or something. That's a different process from what I'm doing now. I'm doing these just to activate your creativity and show you that it doesn't have to be hard. You can do fun things, do whatever you want. I mean, you know, it's just doing the alpha thing and the Visual Cortex thing, and it's all relaxing and it's all good for your brain and it's all totally natural. The tape I used too is an artist tape. You can use, you know, like a masking tape or something like that. I wouldn't use like a Scotch tape or anything because you never know. One of these little squiggly things may end up being something you really like and you want to frame. And if you use a tape that sticks too hard to the paper, your edges will be marred. Be sure to watch next week. I'll give you more information on the Visual Cortex and also on the brain waves and alpha. Really interesting stuff and very informational. I mean, it can really help in a lot of ways. So anyway, tune in next week also. We're finished with this one for today. And a lot of this, as you can tell, I didn't do on camera. My secret to any kind of painting that is successful that I like is layers upon layers upon layers of paint. Now this is all acrylic, and I do the same thing with oil and watercolor too. Watercolor takes a tremendous amount of patience for me. It's hard to make acrylics muddy, so that's a nice thing too. But you can do whatever you want and just enjoy creating something and enjoy your brain being in the alpha state and the visual cortex being open and having a good time and relaxing. Okay, so you guys really enjoy each day until we see each other again in about a week. Bye-bye for now.